Welcome everybody. Today we're going to practice in a way that flows a little bit more and demonstrate how everything in our body is connected, and just slow movements can help really loosen up our bodies as opposed to long holds. So I hope you enjoy the practice. We're going to start by closing our eyes, sitting in a position that's comfortable with you, maybe on a block, on a blanket. Just try to have the knees below the hips, as that is actually the most comfortable position when the knees are a little bit lower. Whatever works for you and your body today is what you should do. So go ahead and close your eyes. Bring your gaze to that third eye center. Roll the shoulders back, but they're right over the hips. Relax the arms and hands. And then take a nice big inhale all the way up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, allow that breath to come all the way down the back of the neck and the back of the spine until you feel the sitting bones sinking into the earth. And take one hand and place it on your chest, and one hand place it on your belly, right around the belly button or lower abs. It doesn't really matter. And as you take that inhale, I want you to feel the chest raise, then the belly expand. Feel the body getting longer, the vertebrae separating. And then as you exhale, I want you to notice how the heart center sinks and the navel center pulls back ever so slightly. And just follow that breath for a few moments. On your next inhale, I want you to go ahead and count the length of that inhale. Some people it's 2, some people it's 4, some people it's 6. Everybody's different. I tend to run around 4. And then count the exhale. Just notice the breath. Pay attention to the breath. Let any other thoughts that come into the mind just float away. You can acknowledge that they're there, then just let it float away. Just be in the present moment. Slowly release those hands and maybe stop counting for a moment. Continue to feel the lengthening of the body as you inhale. And as you exhale, letting the shoulders release and everything else relax down. Bring the hands to the heart center in a prayer position. Spread the fingers wide and gently place the thumbs on the chest. Gently pushing the hands toward one another. And take a moment to set your intention for the class. Go ahead and release those hands down and then inhale them up, this time looking up at the hands. Really stretch it up nice and high, and then exhale those hands in front of the heart center. We're actually going to start our practice today working on our neck. And we're going to do that by working with our feet. I'm going to turn sideways just so you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit better. You can stay on that blackened blanket if you want, if that feels good for you. You can have both feet out or one leg up. It doesn't really matter here. So what I want you to do is to take your one leg, it doesn't really matter which leg it is, and just kind of bend them and hold them together. Let's test our neck. We're going to work on our neck by working on our feet to start. So take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, just kind of bend that neck back and just kind of take note on the ceiling where your eyes just naturally come to. This will help us see how far our neck can stretch when we're done. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to inhale up. That foot, really flex it, point it, flex it again, and then push it on the mat or on the floor. Make sure it's dragging. Flex that foot at the end, point it, and then drag it back. Okay, I'm going to flex it up, point it down, or just let it set down, push it forward, flex it, point it, and drag it back. One more time. Flex the toes up. Try to spread them wide a little bit. Bring it down. Drag the foot. You want that pressure on that foot. Flex the foot. Don't worry about if the knee is bent or straight. Point it, and then bring it back. And now we're going to come to the other side. So flex that foot up. Maybe point it down. Flex it up one more time. You'll notice this ankle is much tighter for me today. Place it down, push it forward, just to where it's comfortable. Flex the foot, point the toes, flex the foot once more time, point the toes, and then drag it back. Flex that foot up, place it down, drag it forward, flex it, point the toes, drag it back. One more time. I like to do threes. I feel like I'm warmed up after threes. Flex those toes up, push it forward, flex it, point it, and then just drag it back. And bring those legs back into that comfortable position wherever you were. Nice flat back here. Take a nice big inhale and then exhale that neck back. Do you have a little bit more room? I have a lot of room. Now, some people's necks don't test all the way back. They don't have that flexion in the neck. You might be right here and that's all you get. And that's okay. That's just your anatomy. Just know that. Know that going forward. So our neck should be a little bit looser just by doing that. And we did nothing with our neck except for use our feet. It just shows how everything is connected. So when we move our body all around, it really loosens up our whole body. Even if we're not working on a particular joint that day, be assured that joint is getting work just by the process of moving the joints around it. So we're going to come onto our back and we're going to start with a little flow on our back. So come into your back. Pull the knees into the chest just for a moment. Check in with the back. Maybe rock it back and forth. Move it back and forth a little bit. Check it in. Bring the knees over the hips. And then what you're going to do is you're going to let your whole body fall to the left. And then you're going to swing the top arm, that right arm, over the head. Let the right knee come over. And you're going to bring it all the way to the other side. And we're going to fold over to the other side. Swing the left arm over the head with a nice big inhale. Let the legs follow you and coming all the way back around. So we're just going to do this a few times. Really getting into the side body, inhaling as you pull those arms up and then exhaling over. But don't worry about your practice if your practice isn't totally in line with when I'm saying inhale or exhale. That's really common for a lot of people. The important thing is that you're trying to breathe and you're conscious of that breath, of inhaling and exhaling. The more you do your practice, then the more your breath will be in line with probably what I'm saying. So don't fret about that. One more time to the other side. And then back to middle. Bring those hands on the knees. Pull those knees into your chest. Should be a little bit more comfortable here. Hold on to the right knee and then extend the left knee out. Really flex that foot. Now you can bring that leg down if you want. Or it can be elevated. But try to pull the right knee towards that right side as you extend that left heel out. That's getting into that psoas muscle. Just do the best that you can. If the knee isn't available for you, let's switch sides. You can use a strap behind the leg, something of this sort. Just try not to lift the body and the shoulders up and make it all about the upper body. Just make it about the lower body. Again, that lower leg can be on the ground or it can be lifted, whatever feels right for your body. Take a nice big inhale, feel the body stretching all the way out, flexing that foot, spreading the toes, and then releasing it down. We're going to go ahead and pull those knees into the chest a little bit more. And we're going to do a little warm ab warm up here. So bring the knees over the hips. You can take those hands under the hips if it feels good, out into a T, whatever feels good for you right now. Take a nice big inhale and then just let the heels, toes and heels tap and then come on back up. Take an inhale. As you exhale, push the belly into the ground so you stay nice and flat back into the ground. Just going to do a couple of these. We're not really warmed up that much. Inhale and exhale it down. Heel, toe, heel. Inhale it back up. And one more time. Heel, toe, heel, and back up. Take a breath here, breathing. Let's go ahead and extend those legs straight up in the air. Flex the foot, feel the back of the hamstrings. Breathing. Now don't worry about it if the knees are bent, that's fine, we're still warming up. And if your legs are down here more, that's fine. And if it's really bothering you, go ahead and take a strap. And maybe your legs aren't bothering you at all, but it just feels good to have a strap up here. Use your strap. Breathing. And slowly allow those knees to bend and bring the feet right down to the ground. Pull the heels in towards the buttocks a little bit. Maybe you'll touch them with your fingertips, maybe you won't. Have them about hip distance apart. And this is a really great time to maybe put a block in between those legs. Helps keep the distance between your legs. A lot of people feel a lot more in line when they do that. And we're going to work on our pelvic tilt a little bit more here. Get into the abs and the pelvic tilt. So I want you to take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, I want you to push the lower back into the ground for that whole exhale. And then as you inhale, let that pelvic release. Feel the belly expand and feel that arch of that back. Your back may even come off the ground where you can slip a hand underneath there. Exhale, tilt, pull the belly back towards the spine. Inhale, let everything expand, the chest raise, the back. Exhale, tilt that pelvic bone down, pushing the back in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. If you have that block, go ahead, release it. Hold on to those knees. We're going to work on the hips a little bit. Hold those knees in on the inhale. And as you exhale, push them out as wide as feels comfortable for you. And then circle them around on that exhale. Inhale them close. Exhale it around. Inhale it close. Exhale it around. Okay, we're going to reverse that direction now. So push the knees out and then circle it around. Pull them in and together. Push them out. Just make sure you're breathing here. It doesn't matter if your breath is in or out on a certain spot. Whatever feels good for you. And one more time. All right. Now you're going to go ahead and hold on to the back of those legs. And this can be really challenging for some people. So maybe use a block if it's not there, or a strap if it's not there for you. And we're going to try to rock and roll, massage the lower back, working on the abs. And you may come into a balance. Or this may not just be in your wheelhouse today. You might be, there is no way this is working for me. And that's okay. You can roll to your side and then come up to a seated position. And we're going to go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together into a Baddha Konasana. And this is really where these blocks are really helpful. If you have tight hips, okay? Well, some of us sit like this, and you might even need them higher. So put them where it's comfortable for you. The other thing that you can do is allow the feet to come out further. That might be more comfortable for you, or maybe in closer. So do what feels good for you, for your body. Sit nice and tall. As you exhale, let the belly button come forward just ever so slightly, feeling that lower back expand. So Baddha Konasana, or what we call butterfly, is really about opening up the lower back and allowing it to expand, and really has nothing to do with the hips. It has nothing to do with flexibility. This is a stretch that is fully anatomy when it comes to the knees. I have a more open hip structure, so my knees go out a little bit further. And it doesn't bother me or bother my hips to have no blocks there. So I choose not to have them. But with each inhale, get your back nice and straight. And as you exhale, just let that belly button come towards the heels of the feet. The feet might flay open a little bit. You can hold on to those toes if it feels good. With each inhale, feel the back lengthening. With each exhale, allow the body to sink. It might feel good to put elbows on those knees. Okay? You might be someone that wants your hands out this way, and maybe a block or two blocks to rest your head. If you put your forehead there, take all the pressure off and releasing, close your eyes. Breathing here. And with each exhale, bring your awareness to the lower back. Right? Now, if you're doing this pose and your hips are screaming at you, or some other part of the body is screaming, pull it back. Don't go so far. Find the blocks or a blanket under the hips so that that body doesn't scream so much. Then go back to the breath, allowing everything to release down. And where's your body holding its tightness? Are you clenching your jaw here? If you're holding on to the toes, do you have a death grip on those toes? Keep the fingers loose. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep the muscles in the face relaxed. And just let the body sink down. Slowly walk those hands all the way back up. Take those feet as wide as your mat, and then just kind of windshield wiper the knees down, side to side. Let the hips roll as you do this, loosening up the back, and then we're going to try to take this a little bit higher to what a lot of people refer to as a stargazer. So as you roll to one side, the left side, plant that left hand back behind you, and then swing the right hand up and allow the hips to come up off the ground, getting into the right side of the body with all that weight on your knees and towards the ankles. And then come to the other side, planting. Maybe sometimes it helps to shift forward and then up. And then come back down. Shift to the other side. Plant that hand behind you where it's comfortable. Swing that arm up. Get into that outside body. Getting into the shoulders. And one more time on this side. Another one more time. Sweeping it up. Exhaling it down and inhale it up. And exhaling it down. Okay, and then we're going to come onto our hands and knees here for a little cat-cow. Exhale, round the cat. Inhale it up. Exhale, round. Inhale it up. Exhale, round. Feel free to move this around any way that feels good for you. Okay, bend all 10 toes back behind you. Try to get the ball onto the big toe, all the way out to the little toe if it's available. Look back and try to have those heels straight up in the ground. You can feel the stretch in those toes. And then walk yourselves back towards those toes. Maybe sitting down on the toes. That might not be available for you, right? So you might want to be forward a little bit. Breathing. One thing that gets neglected this time of year is our feet. And our feet are so critical for balance. And then go ahead and walk it forward. Lift those toes up and then just tap the tops of the feet on the ground. Bend those toes under. This time try to bring the feet towards one another more. So maybe the balls of the feet are like right next to each other. And the ankles are touching maybe. And then walk it back again. Okay, and just go to where it feels okay for you. But a lot of times we wear, and especially as we get older, we'll wear more supportive shoes. And that's really great for balance and helping us when we're walking, when we're older. You see that a lot of times with retiree set, but it's almost a catch-22 sometimes because the feet are not moving, they're not strengthening. And in the summer, we wear a lot of sandals, we're barefoot a little bit more, and so our feet are getting a little bit of work, which makes us stronger and more balanced. So working on these toes and the feet are really important. And come forward. Tap those feet. We're going to do it one more time, not quite as long. Bend those toes. Bend them back. Now this is the one pose for me that I feel like yoga kind of hurts. Those toes get pretty tight. Keep breathing here. Don't clench your jaw. If you feel like everything's tightening and you're holding your breath, take a little bit off and come on back. Tap those toes. Okay, now we're going to come into our downward facing dog. So I really want you to claw the mat. Be careful not to collapse to the inner arch of those hands because that's when all the weight ends up coming into our wrists. Have the creases of the wrists be parallel with the front edge of that mat, okay? Feel like you're clawing the mat and have your fingers, some people like to refer them as gecko pads, on the mat, the fingertips. Feel the ball mount of the thumb and then the outer edge of those hands into the mat and really clawing it like you're trying to almost lift the mat up. And then push the mat away from you. Push your sitting bones back a little bit, just a little bit here. And I want you to notice the engagement of the arms, the upper arms, the shoulders, the whole body, all right? Now, tuck those toes under, lift the knees up, maybe just an inch or two. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can stay here for a few breaths, or just push those hips all the way back. Get off the wrist, really push your weight towards those feet. Inhale up the hips, and then exhale back towards the heels. Now, if you're someone that has hip issues or downward facing dog is really difficult for you, what you can do is instead of coming up, you can just come into the puppy. You can still push that mat away from you and let the chest sink, making sure that those hips stay directly above the knees. In both of these poses, we really want that chest to sink down. In the downward facing dog, it's back towards the thighs, pushing the ground away from us and letting everything relax back towards the heels. Feeling free to adjust that pose, and you can shift from one side by bending one knee to the other, calling walking the dog. So just kind of breathe nice and slow. Now we're going to come on back all the way up to front. And I want you to take little baby steps, maybe 1 or 2 inches at a time. And if the knees start to bend here, that's fine. Let the knees bend. Just come up slowly. Might want to come up onto the fingers, right? Or use your blocks. And just keep walking them slowly. Whatever feels good for your body until you get towards the front. When you're feeling it in the back of those legs, then flex all 5 toes off the ground so you feel the 4 corners of those feet, and then inhale halfway. Using the blocks, maybe bringing your hands to the side of your legs, having that body in a number 7 position, trying to get the arch of that lower back. Exhale, fold. Let the toes release down. And maybe for our first forward fold or Uttanasana, you bend the knees and let the chest rest. Bring the hands back behind you and just let the head dangle. Breathing. Take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, maybe lift the hips up a little bit. If you have a belly that's getting in the way, push it in and to the side a little bit to give yourself a little bit more room here. Let the shoulders relax, the neck relax. Now place those hands on the hips, squeeze the elbows together, soften the knees, and then slowly pulling that belly in as we hinge at the hips all the way up to our Tadasana. Inhale up those arms. Exhale them in front of the heart center and open up into Tadasana. Flex all 10 toes off the mat. Feel the 4 corners of those feet. Inhale, reach the crown of the head up. Pull the ribs in. Pull the knees up so you feel the engagement in the front legs. Let the toes relax down, but keep the engagement of the legs. Shoulders are back. And then close your eyes for a moment. Where is your balance today? Do you feel the body swaying all over the place? Play with the pelvic tilt, just like we did in the beginning. Pull the belly in, tilt that pelvis forward and see what happens with your balance. And vice versa, let the tailbone stick out and see what happens. And find that neutral spot. Find that neutral area. Inhale up those hands, looking up at the hands. Little baby back bend, little baby one. And then come back to neutral, and then swan dive it down. Palms of the hands to the sky until you come on down. Holding on to the blocks, or maybe just stepping back with the right foot. You don't need the blocks maybe. Coming into a lunge, a low lunge here. Hands can be on the blocks here. It can be down here. It doesn't matter, whatever works for your body. Shift the weight back towards that right heel. If you have the blocks, then roll that front foot back into a plank. You can use the blocks or not use the blocks here. Come down to the knees. Take a nice big inhale. We're going to chaturanga down here. So as we chaturanga down, shift the body forward. Have the arms hugging the body at a shoulder distance and elbows back towards the hips and coming all the way down. Try not to collapse. Bring those feet down and then have those hands next to the side and just inhale up for our baby cobra. Probably going to feel it in the back initially. And then we're going to inhale back to the plank. You can tuck the toes for the downward facing dog or walk the hands out for the puppy. Whichever feels better for you. If you're in the downward facing dog, go ahead and step the left foot into the middle of the mat and then lift the right leg up a little bit. Breathing. If you're in that puppy, go ahead and extend one leg back. It feels good. Take a nice big inhale, and you can either, swing that right knee really wide along the edge of the mat and replacing that front hand, or simply come down to the knees and step the right foot forward. Plant the hands or use your blocks into the high lunge on the other side. Shifting the weight back towards that back left heel a little bit. Try to lift the body off that leg a little bit. Extend the crown of the head. Take another big inhale and then step it all the way forward into the forward fold. Inhale it halfway. Again, you can use your blocks this whole time. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Little baby back bend. Come back to neutral and then exhale it all the way back down. Step the left foot back. Make sure that you're on railroad tracks. You don't want to be on a tightrope here. Breathing. Step back into that plank. Knees up or knees down here, your choice. You can use the blocks or not use the blocks. If your knees are up, you can still do a chaturanga. Shift the weight forward. Take that inhale. Exhale, chaturanga down. This time, uncurl those toes. Pull the hands back towards the chest. And then inhale up for a cobra. Exhale it down. Tuck those toes under. Inhale back to your plank. Downward facing dog or puppy. Step that right foot to the middle of the mat. Inhale up the left leg. Shift back towards the right heel. And then go ahead and swing that leg forward, tenting the left hands to replace with that foot. Or be on the knees and bring that leg forward. You can also keep that back knee down if it's more comfortable for you. Into this lunge. Blocks or no blocks. And then step it forward. Forward fold. Inhale it halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Little baby back bend. Hands together in front of the heart. Open up into Tadasana. Okay, we're going to go through that a little bit more, but with a little bit more pace and with our breath. Again, don't worry about it if your breath doesn't coincide with exactly what I'm saying. Inhale it up. Exhale, swan dive it down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Step back with the right foot. Inhale. Exhale, step the front foot back, plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga down. Inhale up for cobra. Exhale it down. Inhale back to your plank. Exhale to downward facing dog or puppy. Inhale up the left leg. Exhale it forward. Inhale both legs together. Exhale, fold, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale it down. Inhale all the way up. Little baby back bend on the exhale. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, step the left foot back. Exhale, let the hips release. Inhale, pull the front foot back. Exhale, chaturanga down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale it down. Inhale back to plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale up the right leg. Exhale that leg forward. Inhale up the back leg. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Little baby back bend. Exhale, swan dive it down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale the left leg back. Exhale, let the hips release. Inhale, pull the front foot back, plank. Exhale, chaturanga down. Inhale for the cobra. Exhale it down. Inhale to your plank. Exhale back to puppy or downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale it forward. Let the hips release. Inhale the back leg up. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Little baby back bend. Hands together. Exhale in front of the heart center. Open up. Breathing. Take those hands on the hips. Step the right leg back into that high lunge. We're going to come into a warrior 3 for a balance. So you can keep the hands on the hips. You can come into an airplane. You're going to shift the weight towards that front foot. Shift the body over, drag that back toe. Let the body come forward. Flex that floating foot. Following a straight line down and allowing the body to come down as the back foot floats up. Now you're going to want to keep that foot flexed. You're going to want to keep the right hip down. That right hip wants to come up. Now something more challenging, you can bring the hands over the head. Woo, don't know if I have balance today. And then slowly squeeze the legs towards one another. Bring the knee up and back down. Okay, now balance is side to side. You might not even, that back foot might not even float up on for you, and that's okay. Take those hands on the waist on the other side. Bring the left foot back behind you. Coming into that high lunge. You shift that weight forward. Let that back toe drop and drag and get light. Feel the weight on that front foot. Keep that knee soft as you slowly float the back leg up. As soon as that leg comes up, flex those toes. And this might be where you're at, and that's totally fine. Pull the belly in as you float that leg up. Pretend you're stepping on a wall back behind you. See where your body will take you. Keep breathing here. When you're ready, bring those knees towards one another. Squeeze the legs together to find the midline of the body. Inhale up the left leg and bring it down. Go ahead and wiggle out those ankles, those knees, those legs. And then finally find your way down to a seated position. We're going to work on the hamstrings a little bit more here. So you're going to take that right leg and bring it straight out. And then bring the left leg so that foot is right towards the inside, maybe a fist distance apart, okay, or whatever's comfortable for you, right? If this is bothering your hips, you might want to be into a staff pose with both feet forward, okay? You don't have to do just one. So we're gonna go ahead. Now reach under that thigh and then kind of lift it up and pull it out a little bit, and you'll get a little bit of more surface area on the ground of that foot. Take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, just allow the belly button to come forward. Keep that foot flexed. This is a great time to use a strap, right? To hold on to here, get nice straight back, exhale forward, Janu Versasana. Or if you have maybe hamstrings that aren't quite as tight, you can place that block behind that foot and maybe even reach that foot. Reach the block. Whatever feels good for you. If you're feeling that burning sensation in the back of the leg, which a lot of us will feel sometimes when we're working on these hamstrings, there's a couple things you can do. One, if it's really intense, pull it back a little bit and don't try to go so far, so fast, so quickly, right? Just come to your edge. That's the first thing. If it's persistent, take those fingers, dig them underneath the leg, and really dig your fingertips into that spot that's really screaming your name and spread the muscle fibers, right? That's going to release them down, and that'll give you a little bit more room. Inhale it back up. Take that right hand and place it on the left thigh. Maybe the left calf or ankle is what's available for you, or maybe even in front of you. Take the left hand and bring it to the outer edge of the right hand, or whatever's available for you today. Take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, use whatever you can hold on to. It might even be just your fabric of your cloth or your pants. Pull the elbows towards one another and then twist the right shoulder down. So now we're twisting. We have a little bit of twist. You're going to feel that all on that left side of the body. Where your hands actually placed doesn't matter. Just go to where you can feel it on your body. As you inhale, feel the body and that whole left side of the body inflate. And then as you exhale, let the right shoulder come down. Go ahead and release that twist up. Inhale it forward one more time. Exhale. And then inhale it up. Now take that left knee, if it's up, place it, that foot at least fist distance from that front leg. Inhale up the left arm and then bring it straight behind you. Push into the ground. Maybe a block is necessary for you here, okay? Whatever, it feels good. Trying to get a nice straight back. Inhale up that right arm and then cross it outside edge of that knee, or maybe just hold on to the knee, okay? Whatever feels good for your body. But as you inhale, feel the body lengthen and getting tall. And as you exhale, twist the left shoulder back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Getting a nice twist in here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Go ahead and release that body, coming all the way forward, going to the other side. So straighten the other leg. Bend that other knee to whatever feels comfortable for you. You might be right up here. It might be a kind of a long leg, and that's okay. Do what feels good for your body. Reach under those thighs, maybe pull them out a little bit, get a little bit more surface area on that leg. Take a nice big inhale and then exhale. Think of the belly button coming forward here. With each inhale, feel the body lengthen. With each exhale, feel the body sinking a little bit further. Slowly bring that body up. Take that left hand and cross it to the other side of the body, and the right hand to the opposite side of the opposite leg. Feels really awkward here. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, fold it and pull those elbows towards each other, allowing the left shoulder to sink down. You might adjust your arms at that point. Maybe even try to look under that right arm, towards that right armpit, getting a little bit of stretch in that whole left side of the body, adjusting the arms and the hands in any position that your body needs or feels. As you inhale, feel that whole right side of the body expand, lengthen, and as you exhale, letting the whole left side release and the right side to come with it. It's okay if your knee bends. Then slowly release that twist, coming straight back up, realigning the body, and then exhaling, allowing the body to come forward once more. Inhaling it back up once again. Now lifting that right knee up, let that foot come fist distance apart from that other leg. Inhale up that right arm and then twist that body and that arm back behind you. Bring it back towards where that lower back or tailbone is. Push into the earth to get a nice straight back. Inhale up the left arm and either wrap that right knee, or maybe bring it to the outer edge of the right knee, whatever feels right for you. Inhale up, and then exhale, twist the right shoulder back. Slowly release that twist. Bring both knees into the chest here. Let those feet come together. Open up into that Baddha Konasana once more. Inhale it up. Exhale forward. Come on back up. Bring the knees together. As wide as your mat. Bring the hands back behind you. Windshield wiper, just like we did in the beginning of the practice. Now, if you want to sweep it up here, go ahead. Notice the difference of these sweeps from the first time we did it in the beginning of the practice. Or you can just stay here. And then slowly bring those feet together. Hug that chest in, and then try to balance on those sitting bones just for a moment here. To our little bit of a boat here. You can hold on to those legs. Keep a nice straight back. If you feel the back rounding, just bring the knees down, bring those legs down. Right? If you're someone who wants a little bit more of a challenge here, you can straighten the legs or maybe even let go. But the moment the back starts to arch or you feel it in the back, bend the knees, hold on to the legs, whatever feels good. So last minute little lab. Let everything relax down. And now we're going to come all the way down to our back, one vertebrae at a time. Really pull the belly in as we do this. See if you can keep those feet flat on the ground. Maybe walk down on those legs. Massaging that back as we come down. Maybe making sure there's not a block behind you like me. And coming all the way down. Pull in one knee and allow the other leg to shift out. Switch legs. Now allow that other leg to come back out. Bring the arms to the sides. Palms to the sky. And prepare for your Shavasana. Now, as you do the Shavasana, sometimes it feels really good to roll to the side and kind of tuck that shoulder under a little bit. And then roll to the other side and tuck that shoulder. Really get those chests nice and open. And just keep your eyes closed here until I instruct you to open them on. So you can fully enjoy the Shavasana. So take a nice big inhale all the way up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, feel the full body surrendering down. Feel the muscles in the back of the eyes releasing. Bring your awareness to your jaw. Maybe the teeth will surrender. As you take that inhale, feel the coolness of the air of the prana entering through the nostrils, traveling all the way up to the crown of the head, feeling the back and the neck extending. And as you exhale, feel that prana traveling all the way down the body. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Feel them sinking into the earth as the prana makes its way down each arm, past the elbows, through the wrists, into the palm of each hand until it makes its way through each knuckle of each finger and out the tips. Continue to follow that breath. As you inhale, feel the body getting lighter, expanding, the whole front side of the body floating. And as you exhale, feel the heart center softening, the navel center pulling back, and that prana making its way through the pelvic area, the hips, and down each leg, past the knees, through the ankles, and all the way into the heel of each foot until it makes its way up the tips of each toe. So that with each healing breath, we take that inhale. And as we exhale, we're releasing any stress, anxiety, tension out through the nose, the ears, mouth, the tips of the fingers, the tips of the toes, every pore of the body. So the only thing that's remaining is that peaceful, healing energy. Just enjoy that moment for a while. Slowly bring your awareness back to the present moment by wiggling those fingers and toes. And then when you're ready, bring one knee in, then the other, and give yourself a gentle hug. Then roll yourself to your side, using your hand or your arm as a pillow. And just take a moment to reflect on your practice. Notice how the body is settled, the breath is settled, and the mind is settled. With your head heavy and your eyes closed, push yourself up to a seated position. And bring your hands together in front of in a prayer position. Rub those hands together, creating heat and friction into the palms of those hands. And then cup your eyes and block out all the light and open your eyes into the darkness, absorbing that energy. Close your eyes, bring your hands back to prayer position at the forehead, bow the head. Namaste.